So approved.
Second.
Bryant,
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Rediger, Straley,
Yes.
sorry, Calderon.
Yes. Action items from closed session. Okay. Do I have a motion to proceed with the termination as recommended?
So moved. Phipps.
Is there a second? Second.
Straight.
Becky, can you call the roll?
Yes. Murphy,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Rediger,
Yes.
Straley,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Calderon.
Yes. Okay, section 4.1, communications, recognition of the girls cross-country team. Our board is really excited to recognize the success of the girls cross-country team and their IHSA state final third place finish, which is quite an honor. I know Coach Garber is here. Did you want to say a few words?
I can if you always do.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sure. Want me to come up here?
Please.
All right. So the girls this season experienced probably the most sickness, not injury, but sickness maybe we've ever had. We had COVID, we had the upper respiratory thing, and when we went into the postseason, it was a battle. Our number one girl was struggling. Allie Lonergan had a tough end of the season, but she never lost her focus and she never lost her drive. All the rest of the girls that were part of this team and contributed, I talked to them and see if they were going to come tonight. And as you know, not only are we high performers in the athletic arena, but the academic arena. And they said, it's finals, we're not sparing time. And I said, okay, that's fine. It's a student to athlete, student comes first, I get that. But really proud of them. We get almost all of them back next year. We lose a couple, but we're building a program not just around the high performers, but around all the people who want to be there. The desire and everything that's going right the direction for this program is only continuing in the right trajectory because of people who've been a part of it. So really proud of the girls. Third place is something special for us. Add another trophy to the case, and we're just going to keep on moving forward. So thank you very much for honoring the girls tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to you and your team.
Thank
It's
you.
obviously you have a lot of success year after year, so
We're trying.
we're grateful for the program you've built and for all you're doing for the athletes. We do have certificates for them.
Absolutely, yeah, I'll grab those.
Since they're not here, I'll refrain from reading all the names since we have so many people waiting, but
For sure. I'll hand them out.
congratulations to all of the girls.
Thank you so much.
Section 4.2, we have CACC Students of the Month, and Andrea's going to acknowledge them. If you are here when she reads your name, we'll have them come up. This is not them. Hold on a second. Here we go.
Okay, for Auto Tech 1, these are the students of the month for the month of October. For Auto Tech 1 is Sean Kissel. For Building Trades, Campbell Walls. For Cosmetology, Isabella DeLay. And also for Cosmetology, Isabella Beard. For Early Childhood, Grant Sterling. For Fire Science, Colin Rebby. For HVAC, Paxton Moe. For Nursing Assistant, Veronica Magruder.
Yeah, just anywhere.
Also for Nursing Assistant, Cassidy Crowdson. For Workplace Experience, Halen Shaw. And for Welding 1, David Helms.
Danny, do you want to do the whole stand?
You guys want to?
Yeah, sure, we will.
Okay, let's do it. fired off a bunch. We're
Thank
good.
you.
Congratulations.
Okay, section 4.3, Illinois State Scholars. Congratulations to these Glenwood High School students who have been named 2025 State Scholars by the Illinois Student Assistance Commission. The Illinois State Scholars Program is awarded to high school seniors based on ACT or SAT scores, the 6th semester unweighted class rank, and grade point average. Illinois State Scholars rank in the top 10% of the state's high school seniors, so this is quite an honor. So I'm going to read these names. There's a lot here. I'm going to do my best to get the pronunciation correct. If you're here, come forward. We have a certificate for you. Becklin Anderson, Sergio Anderson, Kaylin Berry, Rachel Behrens, Wesley Bentley, Bethany Blankenbaker, Elijah Bostrom, Ethan Brown, Kit Bryant. I'm going to do my best with this one. Isabella Bowie? Is Bowie? Andrew Downen, William Ehrlich, Ian Flatt, Sybil Good, Alina Govindaya, Jenna Hazard, Jonathan Helm, Matthew Hibbert, Aaron Jensen, Owen Kahn, Jacob Lane, Sasha Liu, Ashley Mender, Charlotte McCurdy, Lakin McGuire, Julian Mulliter, Cecilia, I don't know how to Newen. I should know that. I'm so sorry. Cecilia Newen, Kylie Newen. Mitchell Olson, Skylar Patterson, Anya Rubin, Lubair Saeed, Leah Sanderfield, Sophie Schwer, Harshini Srinivasan, Patrick Sieberman, Joseph Sutton, Ohin Taylor, Aaron Tu, Aaron Turk, Alina Vogler, Andrew Walbrink, Rachel Wakelin, Aiden Waller, Mia Warren, Clara Waverling, Cameron Wienhoff, and those are our 2025 Illinois State Scholars. actually, this is your opportunity if you don't want to stay and listen to the riveting. You may. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Hey, good, how are you? I'm a visual person, so I look at while I talk instead of moving.
I think everybody knows Brad Kais. He's one of our assistant principals at the middle school. And he's going to go through our Honest Game program that we use with our student athletes. Between him and Caitlin Moody, they do a great job utilizing this program to make sure that all of our student athletes are getting the courses they need to get to the level that they're striving to get to with their academics and their athletics.
So I'll do a brief talk about what's on the board and then kind of go into what's called a care plan in front of you. So you see what the parents see, what the kids see. So Honest Game, we started this in 2022, 2023, when Ms. Moody jumped on board with us. And the idea was to provide students, parents, administration, teachers with a source of, okay, these students want to go to college and play sports. How do we help them academically prepare for the path in front of them? So that's the idea. So we don't want to miss any kid that's like, I want to play sports in college. What course do I need to stay eligible for NCAA D1, D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO, so forth and so on. So right now we have 409 current students enrolled, and it's based upon the sports that they're currently in. So if they're on a roster at GHS, they're in Honest Game right now. The student says to us, hey, I play club lacrosse. I'm interested in college. We add them to that as well so we can track their academic progress at GHS. So that's where we get the kids in. Right now it's sophomores through seniors. It's based upon licensure. So we have sophomores in, and we're going to start adding freshmen at semester time once we see how first semester goes, so we can start tracking their academics as well. The care plan in front of you is the Collegiate Athletic Report on Eligibility is what that stands for. I gave you the one in front of you. It is my own daughter's. I highlight her name out so that way you don't have to, oh my gosh, whose child is it? It's mine. So, but that's what the kids see. So when the counselors and I meet with students, we walk through with them with this. Like, okay, here's where you're at GPA-wise. And you'll notice it is pretty extensive. It goes into Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, JUCO as well. But what you'll notice there is it tells the kids a lot of good information. Number one, what is my core NCAA eligibility GPA? What that means is they have to have a 2.3 D1, a 2.2 D2 to stay eligible for those sports. Also tells them they have 32 semesters of eligibility to be eligible to play Division I or II. And so it kind of tells the kids, hey, if you're on track, awesome. If you're not on track, here's what we can do to kind of help. That guides our conversations with kids. So they tell us, hey, I really want to play basketball in college. Awesome. Let's look at your academics right now. Are you on track? If you're not, how can we help you get on track? So when we talk about registration time, course selection time, it helps guide our conversation with them about what they want to do. So besides talking about trade school and college and workforce, this is another avenue we can have good conversation with kids with. Parents are also encouraged to have a profile on this as well so they can track as well. So this isn't just for the kids or for us, parents have access to this too. So it kind of helps with, like I said, just helping kids stay on track with what they need to do. The highlight for me is the class of 2025, the class of 2026, the class of 2027. The kids in Honest Game right now, their NCAA GPA is higher than our average school GPA. What that tells us, collectively, our students are doing what they should in the classroom to stay eligible for sports. So between 2023 and currently, Ms. Moody and I were able to celebrate a total of 84 Glenwood High School students who went on to play D1 down to JUCO. That's huge for us. Not just because we want them to play sports, because they were able to continue their path to say, I want to continue to play the sport, and we kind of help get them there, so to speak. So that to me is like my biggest success there, is helping kids realize their potential, help them get there academically, into college and beyond. To us though, this is what drives us. This helps us every day. So this is part one of the conversation. Part two is we help them talk to college coaches. We draft emails with them. We create spreadsheets with them. We find contacts for them. So this is one part, and then behind the scenes, we work on getting those connections with kids. And when those emails come from coaches, the kids' faces light up, like, this coach is talking to me, yes. We promise this works. So we have huge success right now with this, and Honest Game is one component of this that has been a game changer for us, because it's all about academics to us. Staying eligible, because we want those kids to be successful, not only in high school, but in beyond in college. So that's my spiel on Honest Game. Any questions about the care plan you see in front of you? Any questions about the handout that we created for you guys?
So is the care plan given to the students and they need to take it to their parents?
They can.
Okay.
A lot of times a counselor will say, hey, this student's interested in playing sports. We call the kid down, we talk to them, we print off this for them. We say, take it home, show mom and dad. In October, we had a Honest Game night. They came in, presented to parents, told them how to get logged in. But we print this off for the kids. We show them where they're at, and we kind of then say, okay, going into next school year, here's a course we recommend to take to stay eligible for those D1, D2. And it's not always about being D1, D2, please know that. It's just, if that happens, or if you blow up in the sports world, and you want to go there, this is now able for you. This is the path for you.
Brad and I actually were working on my sons today.
Yeah.
And we saw that I have to have conversations with him about some of his pathways he's going to need to choose here really shortly on what he wants to do. So it's also helpful that when we start programs like this, we can use our kids for guinea pigs and get them in there and see how it works ahead of time and stuff too. So
We don't want anybody to fall through the cracks. That's the big thing. We don't want kids that come to us senior year like, I wish I would have been able to play. We want to track them from freshman year all the way now to say, okay, you're on track. You have everything you need. We just need you to graduate to move on. So this just helps us for accountability purposes, but it does put ownership on the kids. This is the path in front of you. You got to work hard to keep your GPA up. So it's good for them to see like this is their path. We'll help it get them there.
And you had said anyone on roster is just automatically.
Automatic. Well, like I said, we have some sports, for instance, lacrosse is a great one. We don't offer that. We have kids interested, so we put them in Honest Games so we can track them for them. So we're not going to exclude kids who I want to play, but we don't offer it. We're still going to track those kids for them. In the past, I was doing all this by hand. Oh my goodness. Doing GPA by hand is scary sometimes. So I was like, this is nice to have this built in. And they've helped us add 11 courses that have been NCAA approved. I can't tell you how much that's huge. Like every math course we offer is approved through NCAA now. So we're not going to miss anybody who wants to take math all 4 years. So that's been a huge inclusion for our kids.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for the work
Yeah,
you're doing.
of course, I love it.
Thank you. It's wonderful. Thank you. Anyone have any questions for Brad? Thank you. Mr. Heiss, thank you.
Of course.
Okay, section 4.5, this is citizens' opportunity for visitors to address the school board concerning any agenda topic. Okay, seeing none. Consent items, section 5.1, adoption of consent agenda items. Are there any items here that anyone wants to pull?
Is that through 5.08?
Through 5.08. Yep. Okay, is there a motion to adopt items 5.01 through 5.08?
I will move.
Andrea moves. I hear a second from
Second.
Steve. Any discussion? Nope. Okay. All in favor? Oh, wait, do you have to call the roll on this? Sorry. You can tell I don't do this every time.
We're in it together. Straley,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Rediger,
Yes.
Calderon.
Yes. Personnel, item 6, personnel consent agenda items. Does anyone want to pull any items from 6.01 to 6.06? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve personnel consent agenda items 6.01 to 6.06?
I'll move.
Ann? Is there a second?
Second.
Pat?
Bryant,
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Rediger,
Yes.
Straley,
Yes.
Calderon.
Yes. Well, congratulations to, I think the only person in the audience who was among the personnel approvals that we just approved, Haley Wold, who's a new school counselor at BES, so welcome. Okay, item 7.01, we're opening the truth in taxation hearing. Is there a motion to open the truth in taxation hearing?
I'll move.
Andrea, is there a second?
I'll second.
Ian?
Murphy,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Rediger,
Yes.
Straley,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Calderon.
Yes. So the hearing is open. Are there any comments or questions related to our truth in taxation? To our top tax levy, I guess. Questions related to the tax levy. Okay, seeing none, is there a motion to close the truth in taxation hearing?
So moved. Second.
Phipps,
Yes.
Rediger,
Yes.
Straley,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Calderon.
Yes. Item number 7.03 is the adoption of the 2024 tax levy, for which we just held our hearing. Is there a motion to approve or to adopt the 2024 tax levy?
So moved.
Steve?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Okay.
Rediger,
Yes.
Straley,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Calderon.
Yes. Under new business, item number 8.01, the GHS Giving Fund Grant. Do you have anything to say about this?
So we've received a $3,000 donation from JP Morgan Charitable Giving, related to, I said solicitation, but I think it was some paperwork that Tara Joyner filled out to establish a sensory garden at GHS, and following board policy 880, any donations over $500 must be board approved, and so I'm recommending that we approve this donation to the district in Tara Joyner's name and the high school.
That's outstanding. Is there a motion to accept the $3,000 donation from JP Morgan Charitable Giving Fund program?
I'll move.
Andrea?
I'll second.
Deanne? Any discussion on the acceptance of this lovely donation?
Straley,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Rediger,
Yes.
and Calderon.
Yes. Item number 8.02 is the adoption of the 2026-2027 school calendar. Is there any comments, questions, discussion from board members? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the 2026-27 school calendar?
They're squinting to look at the tiny dates.
I was like, what do you mean?
They're like, what's the first day of school? I know that.
It's pretty cool.
Wow.
So I'm gonna, I'll
birthday.
I'll make a motion.
I think it's like August 13th to May 27th, if I recall.
Yep.
Is there a motion to approve?
Steve.
Steve?
I did.
Oh, we second to the motion?
I'll second.
Ann? Is there discussion or questions?
I guess I just have one question. I mean, I bring this up pretty well every time the school calendar's on the agenda, especially when it's so far in advance. But just want to make sure that there's no reduction in instructional days on this calendar from previous years.
It is identical to the previous years, it's just the corresponding dates.
Okay. Because it's very hard to go and try to calculate those independently, so I just wanted to get
Yeah,
that
and
level of assurance.
that's a requirement from school code, the number of days that are on there, so it's going to be consistent every year that we bring a calendar recommendation to you, because those dates are, those specific number of dates and how we use the days are outlined by school code, so there is no change to that.
And no change in number of SIP days or?
No.
The only thing unique about this calendar would be that that is a gubernatorial election, and so it is, and we have election day off that year, like we did this year, but won't next year.
But we still have the same number.
Yes, but
of
it's still the same number
instructional
of
days.
days. So,
Okay,
that's
thank
the
you.
only thing that vacillates now between every other year.
Any other questions or discussion on the 26-27 calendar?
Not for me.
Okay, you can call the roll.
Bryant,
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Rediger,
Yes.
Straley,
Yes.
Calderon.
Yes. Item number 8.03, bond resolution. It's a recommendation of the administration to issue a general education obligation limited tax school bond not to exceed $1,850,000 for the purposes of increasing the working cash flow of the district to provide for the levy of the direct annual tax to pay the principal and interest on said bonds, and to authorize the sale of said bonds to the purchaser thereof. Are there any questions, comments, discussion on this?
So I will just point out that the issuance of this bond does not raise our tax rate.
This is something we do every year. Yep. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the working cash bond?
So moved.
Second.
Any additional discussion or questions? Okay, you can call the roll, please.
Murphy,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Rediger,
Yes.
Straley,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Calderon.
Yes. Item number 8.04 are GIS course handbook changes. Does anyone want to cover generally what the changes are?
Sure. I can, for GIS. And then, Christine and Ryan will cover theirs. In GIS's course book changes, it's pretty much language changes more than anything else. So we have some minor changes to 5th grade and 6th grade chorus, just cleaning up the language, speech and drama. Again, it was more about adding a little bit more context to each of the courses than really a course that's been changed. So it's no courses have been added or dropped, it's just the wording in the description book is what GIS is proposing. Hopefully I said that succinctly.
Are there any questions about the GIS course handbook changes? Is there a motion to approve them?
I will move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any additional discussion?
Phipps,
Yes.
Rediger,
Yes.
Straley,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Calderon.
Yes. Item 8.05, GMS course handbook changes.
So we do have some courses that are just cleaning up language like GIS or tweaking some words here and there, but we do have some, I guess, more substantial changes. Just to note, our honors algebra and geometry, this was a change that was made after the course book selection or approval last year. It was sent out as kind of a memo to families that those courses will show up on GH transcript for those students, so it's important for parents to know that, so we wanted to make sure that was included. It's not new, but we wanted to make sure it was included in the course book this year. So that's been added for both algebra and geometry. It's also added for Spanish, as well as some adjustments made in conjunction with the Spanish teacher and Mr. Green on cleaning up the Spanish course language and just what that means for students, as well as if they have a D or an F at the semester, it's in that student's best interest to probably drop it at that time with the transcript and knowing that they can take it again in high school. So we cleaned up that language. Also, just to note with the history, I think this is kind of at the end actually, but in the past couple of years, we've been realigning some of the topics and the timelines of when those topics are taught in conjunction with the inquiry-based standards. So that's, and we're kind of on the tail end of cleaning all of that up. So after this year, we should be on a roll and have that all taken care of and aligned. And then we we are hoping to add 2 courses with your approval. One of those is, they're both encore classes. One of them is STEAM Together. And so this kind of is following the idea of our unified Olympics and sports. So we have been trying to support some of our students with more significant special needs in some of our encore classes for inclusive opportunities for them. What we found is some of our encore classes, the difficulty level is such that they're not having meaningful participation even with gen ed peers alongside. So my encore teachers kind of came up with an idea of building a course that was designed to be inclusive and build into it opportunities that are for gen ed peers and kids with special needs to work alongside each other, have meaningful interactions and opportunities to learn under that umbrella, whatever that encore is. So this is STEAM and art together. We're hoping, numbers always dictate whether it runs. So we'll, with your approval, with this addition, we'll see if it goes, and we're excited about it. My teachers are excited about it, and we have some gen ed students that have been instrumental, I think, in bringing that those possibilities to our mind. So that was one, and then the other one, my choir teacher Zoe Zara, she puts on a musical every year, and this year, which was fabulous, we had over 60 kids in the cast, and which is great. We love to be able to have all of those kids participate. What she found was it's a stipend position, so this is the tricky part. She does have rehearsals outside of the contractual hours for several weeks that she does this, but what she found was with 60 kids, it was hard to manage whole group and then scenes and small groups and all of the pieces that went with that. So she asked, and she says, there's so much more I could do with this musical and developing an idea for theater and all of those things that I could build into that if I had a year-long course. So she developed this encore elective. She would still maintain the outside practice times, but then would be able to utilize the in-class time as well. So it would not be taking away from what she does now. It would just be more time to fully address the needs of middle schoolers learning how to put on a musical. So those are the 2 additions. Are there any questions about any of the other changes in here?
Any questions or comments?
I love the addition of the classes.
Me too.
Sound
Yep.
wonderful.
Very creative.
Is there a motion to approve the GMS course handbook changes?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any additional discussion?
The changes for Spanish and the algebra and geometry classes, I would assume would go hand in hand with eligibility because they're on the high school transcript and they're eligible for the NCAA guidelines too.
The only thing we said was it's not gonna count for graduation requirements. So for instance, we want kids taking 4 years of math. We don't want them using that 8th grade to say like, oh, I have a year of math already done. I don't have to take it now as much in high school. So So we said this doesn't count toward the progression of credits. We're still gonna count it, but we still want them taking math as much as possible in high school. Does that make sense how we're gonna kind of word that with kids?
So it counts towards their GPA, just not number of high school
Correct.
credits.
So they would still need to take 3 math classes
Yeah.
while in high school to graduate. And most of our students that take those will probably take 4 still.
Okay, any additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we take the roll, please.
Phipps,
Yes?
Rediger,
Yes.
Straley,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Calderon.
Yes. Item 8.06, GHS course handbook changes. Mr. Green.
All right, we have a few simple changes for us for this year. In business, we have a change to the personal finance. It's a real simple word change that just changes it to 11th and 12th grade only. But that's just in preparation for that class being a graduation requirement for the class of 28. So next year you'll see that it'll be a senior only class, and then the next year will be a graduation requirement. Change in the student ambassador, we're just changing it to type ambassador, just so it doesn't conflict with other programs. So it kind of has its own name. We do have 2 new classes, education classes. One is a dual credit, Introduction to Teacher Education. And the other one is an Early Childhood 2. It just gives more internship practice in our early childhood program. So just kind of efforts of growing your own that we continue to do. In art, if you remember several years ago, we kind of changed around kind of our process for art a little bit. And we noticed the intro levels are kind of declining a little bit. So we separated them out. Instead of 2, now we have 4. So hopefully we can get a little more interest in our arts. And then in science, we just had some required changes to put lab-based course for our biology courses.
Any questions or comments for Mr. Green?
I had one, just because of the prior question that I asked about the Spanish and algebra counting, there seems to be more of a trend in some of athletes, especially in the ballpark of football, leaving and graduating early and going and reporting semester-wise. I think maybe look at that, because if you're an 8th grader that's taking high school level courses already and not getting counted towards high school requirements, that may hinder someone from being able to graduate at a semester and then report to college earlier than they would. I don't know how that affects, but that could potentially be 2 different courses that would. I didn't know if that, are we having any issues with people who want to graduate early at the semester, report to college early? Are we having any issues with meeting graduation requirements in that time frame?
If we can hear from kids about their sophomore year, because the biggest thing is this, the kid takes a study hall every year, it eliminates the idea of graduating early because they're not taking enough credits. So if we can find out their sophomore year that, hey, listen, I do want to graduate early, we can eliminate the study hall from the schedule, add more classes in, then they can get out a semester early. We learned that personally with one of our students we dealt with leaving early last year.
Yeah, we've had a couple conversations with a couple football players, if that is an option that they want to explore based on where their recruitment currently stands. And most of the time, it's probably a Power 5 school that you're gonna get asked to leave, graduate early and go to spring ball. So we are targeting a couple kids to see if that's something that interests them. But it's always hit and miss of whether they want to go or understand that that's probably going to be their path, and explaining that to them, and then fixing their schedule on the back end.
It's really just revolving around that study hall component.
Yeah, it is.
Because most of our students have their core graduation requirements taken care of by their senior year, except for English. So like our students that graduate early usually have to double up in English that first semester, so then they could graduate early.
Which isn't one of the offerings that you'd be able to get in the middle school level anyway, though.
Correct.
I have a lot of kids that take 0 hours, so they'll
questions or discussion? Is there a motion to approve the GHS course handbook changes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none?
Rediger,
Yes.
Straley,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes?
Calderon.
Yes. Item number 8.07, Mr. Allen.
Good evening, how are you?
Good, how are you?
You may recall, but you probably don't, a few meetings ago, I talked about the RFP for Addison Kansas District. This started before the end of the last school year. So tonight is the culmination of research we did, the security audits with the principals and the staff, and the RFP. We were able to contact 6 different vendors ahead of 12. And basically, 6 replied. One at the bottom arrived late, and we did not open the bid, so I have no idea what it was. But they weren't here on time, and that was the bid rules. So of the other 5 that did, we selected Synergy for a couple of reasons. Number one, we're adding between 2 schools, just GIS and CES, 33 new cameras. And the cameras create a lot of load on the servers. If the servers aren't updated and up to speed, the cameras will run slower. We also require through the vendor a 30-day record option, where we can go back 30 days and see what happened if we look at some video. So we had what was called some voluntary alternates that Synergy came up with, and we have included those in the bid. Just a couple of them off the top here to give you an idea. We're installing 3 new outdoor cameras, 1 at the playground for GES and 2 at GIS in the parking lot and in the ball field. Those have to be wired. If they're not hardwired, we have to use some sort of a Wi-Fi signal. We've had mixed success with that. So that was included in the bid, was running power of some sort out to those cameras, out to those holes for those cameras. As I had mentioned, we wanted to increase the server capacity so that the cameras would run faster. We had to provide what's called the Genetec Advantage. Genetec is the foundation of the system that we use, and that's a support license that synchronizes the cameras so they all work together. Synergy agreed to update all the cameras that we have in the district, not just the ones that we're suggesting that we buy tonight. And we're adding all the new cameras to the current maps and visual tracking. What that is just the guts of what we're already doing with the cameras are existing, incorporating it all together. I have a maintenance agreement with Synergy that started in 2022 for 5 years. We're in the 3rd year of the agreement, and part of the agreement covers the installation and repair of camera issues if we have any come up. So it wasn't a slam dunk that they were gonna get the bid, and they actually tied, or they shouldn't say tied, they were close to an original bid we got from Seco company in Pekin. However, Seco and I contacted them because they were so low just to see what it was they had bid. They didn't suggest any additional equipment upgrades. They decided and determined that the existing cameras could also run with the new ones. He thought he'd save me some money by not having the servers upgraded. And I decided I didn't think we should do that. And in talking to a couple of my tech people, Josh in particular, we agreed that that wasn't the route to take. So we selected Synergy. The bid will be, the project will be awarded tomorrow after we, of course, have this meeting and talk to you tonight. So that's my recommendation, is we go with Synergy with the proposal.
What's the alternate, Randy?
I'm sorry?
What's the alternate, the $29,000 alternate?
That is, those are the 3 or 4 things I mentioned here a minute ago.
Okay. Upgrade the servers.
Providing material and labor associated with the installation of permanent power on the district poles.
Okay.
The upgraded servers, providing the Genetec Advantage support license, which is what we already have, to these new cameras. And then adding all the new cameras to the current maps for visual tracking.
Now, this would be an additional contract with them above and beyond the 5-year
this will be melded into the current
So
contract.
it'll be melted into.
Right. Right.
Have we got any analog cameras left, or they all?
We have about a dozen left at the high school. They're still working, so I just haven't replaced them.
Okay, I didn't know if those replacements were in this bid or not.
No. The only replacements we had that we had to take out were the cameras at GDS because they were high vision.
Right.
Which are Chinese, and we're not allowed to use those.
Those weren't allowed in any.
Federal government won't let us use Chinese cameras. So no, we still have some analog cameras, which is a technology that's dead. But I had 40, I think, or 44 when we first started this, and we're down to about
And as they go bad,
10
you
or 12
replace
each,
them.
we pitch them.
Okay.
Nobody wants them. So replace them as we have to. So are there any questions about the bidding process or what we did? This is we published the RFP in September and had the pre-proposal conference October. I mean, it's been a long process. Here we are in December. Hopefully, we'll get, with your approval, we'll get some cable pull over the winter break in the two biggest jobs with GIS and CDS, and we hope to have this done by February, second or third week of February.
And just as a reminder, we also applied for the annual state maintenance grant to go towards this project. So there's $50,000 coming from the state towards this,
That was approved.
this project.
My friend Wendy.
And you're wanting to do the base bid and the alternate?
Yes. Yes, I am. The final is $112,792 for the synergy bid.
Any questions, comments? Is there a motion to approve Synergy Electric out of Williamsville at the cost of $112,792 for the camera upgrade?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Any additional discussion? Seeing none, Wendy, or Becky, if you could call the roll.
Straley,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Rediger,
Yes.
Calderon.
Yes. Thank you. Item number 8.08, second reading of press policies. So these are policies that the policy committee reviewed in our progress towards reviewing all of the policies that the district has. Happy to try to answer any questions you have. It's been a little bit since we reviewed these ones, but glad to answer questions if you have them. This is second reading, so we will take action on these tonight.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Murphy for the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Bryant, any discussion? Seeing none, Becky, if you could call the roll, please.
Bryant,
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Rediger,
Yes.
Straley,
Yes.
Calderon.
Yes. Section 9, communications, item 9.01, future board meeting dates. So you can see there the board meeting for January and committee meetings for January. Section 9.02, superintendent date. Dr. Lehman.
Okay, we're gonna test this out, hopefully this works. So every 6 months, I come to the board, usually in December, and then over the summer with an update of things that the district and I personally are working on. And I have no motion, so Becky, you're gonna have to wait, maybe because I didn't turn it on. That might be part of the problem. This isn't the usual one,
Now, I don't know if that was you or me.
Nope,
Oh.
I'm gonna have you scroll.
Okay.
Okay, well, if it is, it's super delayed and no one wants to sit through that. So, okay, so we're just gonna briefly talk about the accomplishments this first semester, our focuses this year, and some really exciting data on our school report cards, our 5 essentials data, and a Title IX update. So on the strategic plan, coming back to school this fall, our strategic plan is quite lengthy. It is a non-sunsetting plan where we are just going to keep working on things until they get done. And so all directors and principals documented their progress towards items. There were several items that we didn't touch because they're progressively, we just haven't gotten to them quite yet. And we'll be posting that document after this meeting with the progress that we made on the very numerous items within that plan. And then we are moving forward with that progression throughout this year. So far this year, accomplished goals. We've completed the new district office. We're very excited. It has really been an opportunity for us to increase our communication across the district, to become more succinct in the work that we're doing, because we can reach out and touch and have conversations. I shouldn't say reach out and touch. We should have more conversations within our team, and we're able to, you're gonna have to keep following along. Keep those conversations. We also had the completion of several other construction projects, the GHS roof, the playgrounds at CES and GIS, the GMS press box. There were more, there were just so many, I did not list, but those are the most significant ones that completed after school started. We have conducted an expansion of the student ambassador program. I met with the ambassadors 4 times last year. We are meeting monthly this year, and 2 administrators from the high school are also attending each meeting. Mr. Green is generally there and then rotating through the other administrators so that they also are making stronger connections with this leadership team with the high school and hearing their input firsthand. So that's really great. And then we had our initial meeting of the Parent-Teacher Advisory Committee. That is required committee by legislation. We were previously, it was a sort of an ad hoc process, but this is another opportunity for us to connect with the community. About 26 people serve on that committee in total, and they will meet 3 times a year, with the next meeting on January 13th. So the first meeting was an introduction and an overview. And then I think our strongest thing that we've been focusing on this year is our digital citizenship lessons for all students. So we created a PD plan with each month having a monthly focus. We've tied that to our portrait of a graduate. Lessons are occurring K through 8 through library, TPH, or leader and me time at GIS. And then at the high school, it's a little bit different because we don't see all kids, and we didn't want to tax the English department, the only class that touches all kids every day, with 1 more item. And so they are getting some of those lessons through their health course, and the rest is also by email or morning announcements to the kids. So pretty exciting. Working on goals throughout the rest of this year. We are putting final touches on the HR recruiting plan and the communication plan, and we're creating a public-facing facilities plan. So we brought the facilities plan before the board before. It's a massive spreadsheet, but we're putting out something that's a little bit easier for the public to understand and see, that prioritizes the main projects for each of our 10 facilities by their categories, and looking at budgetarily what that is going to look like moving forward over the next 20 years. Again, the digital citizenship. We're also the Screenagers project. While I would love more parents to attend the screenings, I know that people are busy, but we have started working with the entire health department from the high school, middle school, and GIS. They met with me to screen movie 1. They are coming back on either the TI day or the next SIP day for movie 2, and building our comprehensive plan of how we will work this into curriculum for students moving forward for next year. Our student focuses this year are attendance. Chronic absenteeism is an issue across the state. It's an issue here as well. Unfortunately, you can't learn if you're not at school, and so we're going to do some work on that. An absence is an absence. There's really no difference between unexcused and excused, and when you're not here, we're not learning. Also talking about transitions, that's part of the student ambassador request, is making those transitions from GIS to MS and MS to the high school a little bit smoother and more informative for kids and parents. Ethical grading practices, and then student ambassadors. Moving on to good news, school report cards. We had 3 schools that received an exemplary rating, Ball Elementary, Glenwood Elementary, and Glenwood High School. And then 3 schools with commendable rating, Chatham Elementary, Glenwood Intermediate, and Glenwood Middle School. So we are seeing improvement in our state report card across the board, and very excited by the ratings that our schools received and the recognition that our community received for the achievements of our staff and students. So it was awesome to see that. So for some context, there were only 374 exemplary schools across the state, and we had 3 of them. So very excited about that. Our 5 essentials data, we received that back this fall as well, so that helps drive some of our school improvement efforts. The 5 essentials data comes from data acquired through surveys of our staff and students. While parents are surveyed, they don't go to our overall score and don't get included they have a different report. So this is just information from our staff and students. Our areas of strength this year, reported by those 2 groups, were human and social resources in the community, the socialization of new teachers, and these are in the exact ranking order that they were from the report, student-teacher trust, peer support for academic work and math instruction, and then our opportunities for improvement in reverse order, so going from the bottom one is the top one, is innovation, quality of student discussion, collective responsibility, teacher safety, and teacher influences. So within each one of those categories, there are 5 or 6 questions that are answered. So each administrator has taken time to dive into that and learn that, and to drive some of this information into their own personal improvement plans for their buildings to address that. And also, we'll be going into 5 essentials here in January. And so also talking about some of the questions with our staff to make sure that they have full understanding of what the question's actually asking. Some of the data was not what we expected, so we're trying to ascertain whether it was an understanding of the question or a true response in that process. And finally, our Title IX update. Yet again, we check in with the U.S. Department and Office of Civil Rights to find out where we are with our Title IX update. And yet again, they have not reviewed the plan yet. We will continue to follow the plan strategies regardless of their acknowledgement of our plan. Unfortunately, with a national update to the Title IX law, and now some of the controversy around that law for many states across the country, we are not their focus at the moment. So we will continue to follow the plan that we outlined, and one day they will get to us. And that will be a very exciting day. So, but not yet, not our turn yet. So, any questions?
One of the things that you said was kind of a priority in the works was equitable grading practices. I was wondering if you could speak a little bit to that and what that really means.
Sure. So it was part of the strategic plan, and so we're just getting started with some training and some looking at making sure that when we are issuing grades to students, that from person to person, from building to building, that we are using the same practices so that a grade is representative of the same thing across the district. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot of components that can go into grading, and so we're going to be doing some deep dives, some training, some exploration before anything is changed or cemented, because it's a large learning process. But we acknowledge that perhaps a grade from one class to a next class may not be representative of the same practices, and so the importance of making that consistency for our students and our families.
So I know this is probably not a fair question because this could come in a number of different forms, but is there any talk about reducing the grading scales or anything to that effect that would, for lack of a better way to put it, make it easier to get higher grades?
well, we haven't talked about anything yet, so what I can tell you is
Oh,
that if you look at the research on grading practices, there are about 16 to 18 components to grades that we don't always think about. And so we are gonna dive into those 16 to 18 things, decide what becomes priority first, where we need to put our focuses and what that would look like. So this is gonna be a multi-year thing. Grading scales can be a conversation in that, but at the moment, we're one pinky toe in, which is get some information and get some training.
Thank you.
And what's the plan? Would you form a committee to look at it? Is it, who begins the work on, looking at it? And how do you move through that work?
So we'll start, just by growing capacity, so we're, as I said, we're gonna do some trainings this spring and then work on a plan of how to move forward, which would include who do we include, how do we include them, how often do we include, what does our timeline look like for moving forward, so that we can then systematically work through those steps.
Any other questions?
Not a question, I just wanted to mention that since the OCR Title IX complaint was filed, we've made a lot of progress.
Oh, absolutely.
Just, and it's frustrating to me to see how long this has been lingering. I hope that they would review the plan soon and see the progress that the district has made, because I think it's a success story. It's frustrating that we can't get movement on it. I mean, it's just ridiculous it's been pending this long. So I just wanted the public to know that there's been a lot of progress made, a lot of issues addressed, and hopefully they'll review it soon and we'll get that report official.
I would like to give a shout out to Caitlin Moody, just because she continues to work that plan and expand that plan and use it to guide the practices of the athletic department despite the lack of response that we're getting. So she's still looking at more opportunities for female athletes. She's still looking at ways that we can improve the athletic department and make things equitable. Despite our lack of feedback at this point, we know what the requirements are and we're holding ourselves to them, and hopefully that gets recognized soon.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, moving on to section 9.03. This is a citizen's opportunity for visitors to address the school board concerning any topic.
This is my spot. Hello, Stephanie Ensley, Educational Foundation. I'm coming to talk to you guys about some exciting stuff that we are working on. So in the past, we focused a lot of our energies to your STEAM projects. That is a constantly changing, evolving project, and we're happy to support it. But our main role in that function has been completed. So we took some time as a group to really kind of talk to some of your staff and some of your leadership and try to figure out, what is the next big step that your schools could really use a hand with. So we are going to start moving forward and looking at ways that we can update your libraries. We're going to be working very closely with your administration and coming up with a plan that will hopefully, over the next however long, renovate all 6 of them. So to do that changes some of our financial goals, right, and some of our needs. So we are changing our fundraising structure, making some opportunities that are more user-friendly to all of our families, because in the past, our fundraising had been targeted to some large businesses and corporations. So we're coming up with some strategies that can include families. And we are also changing our fall fundraiser. We have Iron Chef in the spring, which is hugely successful and a financial mover. And in the past, we've tried multiple times now for a fall fundraiser. Backyard Bash was successful. It was fun. It was a community event that we're proud of, but it wasn't the largest financial driver for us. and with lofty goals come loftier needs. So we are going to have a new fall fundraiser this year, and it will be called Masterpieces and Melodies, and we will be showcasing student art and student music. So that event will take place November 6th at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library, where we think it will be very exciting for your students to be able to see their hard work on display in a beautiful location that will highlight students that maybe don't get as much attention from us as maybe they deserve. So we're hoping that will become an annual fundraiser moving forward. So I'm really just here because if you guys hear things in the weeds and you're like, wait, what are those people that we're working very hard to come up with a plan that we will then present to you guys when we have a little bit more information as to what that looks like. But if you hear what's going on, we're going to try to tackle your libraries. So just here to report, I'm putting out sponsorship packets together at the end of this month. I didn't want anything in the public that even said the word library without first telling you guys kind of what was in the works. So if you have any questions or suggestions for me, I'm happy to chat. Just know that we're kind of in the beginning stages of that project.
What's the date again for the fall?
November 6th, and it will be at the Presidential Library. It's a Thursday evening. It will be an open house style event where people can come in from work and browse things. We're going to silent auction student work. I will have some professional pieces to publicly auction, and we know that our band director is working on some unique ensembles with some of their talented students to perform for us, so we're really excited.
Awesome.
Sounds like a great event.
great opportunity.
Yeah.
We're hoping to showcase, again, more of our students, but also give us an opportunity for another financial win to help with our project. So.
Thank you for all your hard work and the board on behalf of the district. We really appreciate all you do.
Well, thank you. We hope to have big news for you soon. Okay. Well, thank you for letting me visit with you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.